Hello, hello, hello. I am Ringru.
And I'm John Madden. Oh wait, no, I'm Graham. Never
Oh,
mind.
okay, I was getting a bit confused there for a second. And we're here for another one. I'd be John Madden. We'll be here for another 1v1 from Wargame Bootcamp Discord Elite Tournament. This time covering the third place matches. And well, who are vying out for that bronze medal today, Graham?
So we have a regular now of the channel, maybe the favorite of the channel, and that is Krot playing the United States of America. And then on the right we have I Hate Wargame, who's actually balanced, but if he changed it to I Hate War No, I would like the name better. And he is playing. Oh, wait, it's a yes, it's a Landship right?
Landjute mech
Yeah,
indeed.
Landship.
Because there we got a little bit distracted there because the DAP just renting hot and black to scout defender. But Balance going in pretty hot up north. He's dropping in the smoke. He's got a pretty deadly force here of 2A1, a bunch of infantry spam, and the Automatica.
Automatic is so hot. But yeah, he's definitely bringing up a lot of firepower here. Trying aggressive opening. It looks like trying to get into alpha there. If he can set up shop, it'd be really difficult for Krot to get him out. But we see immediately he's recognized that danger. Oh, and so yeah, so he's got that quad stack of riflemen, two HAs, some ranges on the flank, and Balance actually he kind of forgot to send some of his units out. Rang the Fallschirmjäger are getting up there kind of late. I don't think that's intentional.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer, yeah, because you really do want those dudes out in the front as the Fallschirmjäger. And yeah, he is building up that smoke quite heavily here. Krot does have actually a pretty insane force. He's got two HA Abrams in, like, Bravo of all places, which is really those tanks are more for, like, the Gulf push, you'd say.
Yeah, you normally would think so, but in the infantry support role, they're still pretty effective. And, you know, obviously with our God Vision, we can see the Dragonaires would get annihilated if the Riflemen support these HAs properly, because the law's going to do almost nothing to the HA Abrams in these CQC fights. So I think he actually has an opening here, especially because the Fallschirmjäger, they're going to be way off there onto the flank. So this could be a really good fight for Krot if he plays it right.
Yeah, and also just the delay here really from Balance Push. He did do a decent job getting into at least the bottom half of Bravo, but the Dragonaires, like you said, unsupported. They are going to get blapped, and the Automatic and the Leopard 2A1? Is he in between?
Yeah, he's moving that forest line, or is he going all the way? He might be going all the way to over the Gulf.
Oh! He's just redirecting.
He's on a little drive.
Mm-hmm.
Got some Eurobeat blasting as he heads across that open field there in the afternoon. We see the fights going down here, the Danes versus the Americans. America should come out on top here, I think. You see the Danes try and pull back. Yeah, the HA's coming up, close support as the mortar rounds come in here, but those things are going to do nothing but scratch the paint on those M1 Abrams, and yeah, we can see already one squad going to go and get annihilated in the forest.
Yeah, just the utter fire support, yeah, is going to get Krot the big dub in regards to that firefight, and, well, it's kind of interesting as has gone so far, because Balance has gotten decent map control. I mean, he's managed to contest Go from Bravo a bit, but nothing really crazy considering his rather offensive posture at the start.
Right, and we did see Krot with the early cap of Hotel right there, pretty much off the get-go, so he did get himself a little bit of a points lead, and on this map specifically, Rang, any type of lead can be valuable the longer the game goes on, because it can be so hard to get a tick.
Yeah, I'm seeing both sides just invest quite heavily in mortars here, using them for actual, like, suppressive damage. I have a feeling Balance is going to try something in Gulf, because all of that smoke play, and also having the Deccan's Grouper just down south for the mortar support. That'd be a very good spot if you could get into that town, and of course, bring in some Milan teams and shut it down.
Yeah, if you're able to like completely lock down golf, it's almost always a game-winning move for players because it's just really hard to get back in there a lot of the times. And like you said, you can set up, you can have Deckungsgruppe for infantry support, you got Milan teams, your tanks can use the forest line to go ahead and abuse open pushes. It just requires a lot of firepower from the blue side to push them out. So we see the Rangers trying to go toe-to-toe with the Fallschirmjäger. The Fallschirmjäger are out in the open there, Ring, so the Rangers should be able to push them back a little bit, but there's fire support coming in from the Martyrs.
Yeah, I guess the real decisive element here for Krot will be the two H Abrams you have redirected over into Gulf, and it's really nothing here which can threaten him. He can just sit in that hill and pound away.
No, and you can tell that this move's been anticipated here by Krot because he did buy the Patriot, so he knows that the immediate reaction to his HAs might be a Peace Rhine or MLU call out, something of that nature, and so he's already prepped for that. And we'll look to see, like, does Balance kind of take that bait? Because that's what it kind of seems to me. It feels like a really expensive bait there by Krot.
Yeah, because with Balance, his only real answer to the H. Abrams, realistically, are those Peace Rhines. He doesn't really have any... Okay, he has Fennec Totus, I do forgot,
Yeah.
but that's really it. I mean, the Milan 2s... Actually, I think have decent APs, like 24 if I recall.
24, right? But the accuracy is really low on the Milan too. It's like 45%, right?
It's still mainly a deterrent trapping.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the spike.
No.
But we do see the HAs pushing up here, being aggressive. There's no real threat to them whatsoever. We've seen no plane call out here that could signal a threat to them. So Krot just kind of microed them back and forth. Look and see if these M113s with riflemen head straight down there. And yep, they are. They're going to take. Oh no, they're going to decide to. They don't know where they're going.
No.
They read the map wrong. There's no GPS here. Trying to figure it out right now. No, Chinook coming up with some more Rangers as well. I don't know what the hell. Oh, him and needs to give gas because those Abrams have already guzzled through almost all of their fuel right there already. It just shows you they're thirsty.
They are, especially just going from Alpha back to Golf. it's quite crazy how much bloody fuel they do end up using. But the Bravo sector has been really quiet after that initial Dragoneer push. I mean, both sides just kind of have their defensive line of M1 and 3 boxes just hanging out like it's a Napoleonic line battle about to go down.
Yeah, it's all quiet on the Bravo front right now. There really isn't anything going on. It doesn't look like either player wants to make anything happen there. Plus, they're, like you said, they're extremely equally matched here. I mean, there's a Cobra in the back there for Krot. There's the Ontos, your favorite unit. So, I mean, there are some things here Krot could give him, like, an edge in the defensive area. But if he wanted to push, it wouldn't matter, I don't think, whatsoever in a push.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to do a squad there, too.
And then usually the Bravo push, right, is always such a meat grinder on this map, like you said before. If you can just hold on to Golf, and in this case, Balance has been able to do that, and if you can just continue maintaining that +1 point advantage, you can just, throw in the bodies of troops into Bravo, you do have the infantry advantage, and then you just ward off H.A. Abrams with Milan 2 spam.
Yeah, because if you lock down Golf, which, Balance has it under his control. I wouldn't say it's like lockdown, right? Krot can definitely get back in there if he preps appropriately. He has a decent amount of firepower and some good AA up as well. But it really starts to dictate, puts the pressure on Krot to make something happen. And most players, I think, would prefer to try and maybe push into Golf instead of the Bravo just meat grinder. Because you see a CV command Abrams coming out there for Bravo, because it's just so hard unless you have like a Baratino, like we saw a couple weeks ago, Rang, to obliterate the Bravo position. It's just it really benefits the mech player.
Yeah, especially with how Krot has his deck laid out. As you might have noticed, Krot only has 3 infantry cards, and not only riflemen. He's bringing nothing else. He wants to be mechanized, but he doesn't really have that flexibility. And the problem with pushing with only riflemen into Bravos, you need fire support. He does have on-tosses, you got Nighthawks, you got decent artillery, but you still want, I guess like regular M1 Abrams, some cheap armor that you can spam in to support.
Alright, so the Patriots actually opened up. It missed its first shot right there. Trying to go for this. It misses both shots.
What?
Wow, 2 in a row going for the F-16A. Really unlucky RNG there for Krot. It also lets, Balance know, hey, he has the big boy AA on the map right now, and there's no gain from it whatsoever right there. It's really unfortunate for him.
Because you usually just want that surprise attack from the Patriot, because it's pretty obvious, especially fighting against US, if they have big missiles coming at you at rate, most people don't usually buy the Eyehawk.
Yes, yeah, nobody's buying the Eyehawk. What is this, 1965?
Yes.
We're bringing out the big boy Patriot to slap some planes at the sky, and unfortunately, it really didn't live up to that, and hopefully Raytheon isn't watching this game, because their stock price might have gone down. But the Riflemen are committing here to attack where the Declan's group are located. There's M41s in support there, so that, the Abrams can just push up and annihilate those, and the Milan teams can push back a little bit. The big thing is you just don't want your Abrams, tangling too much with Carl Gustav's in a head-on engagement right there, because they do have 18 AP. Man, that close to range, it could be, you never want to risk like maybe a side shot happens or something, something crazy.
Yeah, especially a fast rate of fire as well, but he's going to let the riflemen take point, and they are going to take some initial damage here. And I do love how both sides are using smoke extremely heavily. Like, it's definitely a good micro, and you're seeing that. Deccan's group are pulling back a bit.
Yeah, that was really good micro, though, by Krot, by making sure the Deckungsgruppe had fully engaged the riflemen, and then as the riflemen get into the town, he pulls those HEs up, abusing the smoke line right there, and just annihilating those poor Danes, or no, those poor Germans, excuse me.
And he's bringing in already the second batch of riflemen to secure that town. And yeah, if he can just use that, double stack of HE Abrams, and just, plow his way through these rather untechnologically advanced mech troops, he has a chance he could get into Foxtrot.
Yeah, I think your angle now for Krot is how much you invest into holding Golf and reinforcing. Oh, the Milan team just got annihilated right there. And we see the Leopard 2A1 show himself there as it opens up on the M113s. I think if you're Krot, trying to clear out Golf isn't a bad bet whatsoever, because while we do see Balance is making moves in Bravo right now, there is fighting going on. It's not, I don't think, going to be decisive in any direction. We see the Panzer Grenadiers push up there. The first squad of riflemen gets murked as the Panzer Grenadiers storm the position, but there's reinforcing firepower coming. Oh, the M113s are just going to swarm these Panzer Grenadiers.
Oh yeah, they're going to do a decent amount of damage. Once again, it's just about using good fire support here for Krot, and he can actually win these engagements, because it's a pain in the ass to bring armoured vehicles up and down that hill. It's very much a defender's advantage.
I'm going to hit Rockeye for the F-16s, so we're waiting to see when some of these aircraft come out. Another F-16 diving in, so 2 trade in the air. And then we also see the Patriot going on and try and get a shot here. A miss, I think, by the Rockeyes. Oh no, they never even dropped.
Blocked, no.
Nope, didn't drop. Now, it will get out safe and sound, but that is... I don't want to say it's a win for Krot, but his HAs are, pretty much intact except for the Milan hit, so losing your F-16 kind of sucks, though, but he did trade out.
Yeah, it does give Krot, a little bit of information. It's like, okay, I now have to be a bit more rare, because they are going to try and cluster my heavy tanks. I should probably get a little bit more anti-air on-air presence.
Yeah, here it comes. The radar is on for the Patriot, so he's pretty much ready to rock right here. Okay, so Balance is not going to commit right there. He might have lost line of sight on the Abrams. I'm not 100% positive. I guess I could actually look. Yeah, he sees them, but he's not going to go ahead and commit to that. And looks like Bravo's basically kind of chilling out a little bit. The Panzer Grenadiers took some losses. The Ontoses, only one survived. We kind of missed out on your favorite unit dying ring.
Yeah, maybe. I was distracting you on purpose.
No anti-Ontos propaganda?
No. My favorite 6-shooter and the rest.
You just come up... That's pretty good. But the Panzer Grenadiers are going to engage the riflemen here, and now this is where we finally see like an advantage from the mechanized, the deck here from Balances. The Panzer Grenadiers 90s are significantly better than the riflemen, and while the mortars are going to come in here and do some heavy damage to the Panzer Grenadier squads, they should clear the rest of this infantry, and now these Livguard are then going to push up as well, though we do see 40 more riflemen coming in.
Yeah, and it's mainly just more of the Emerald and Freeze which are doing the heavy lifting here, surprise, surprise, and
right.
Once again, the lack of being able to bring up armoured vehicles up a hill here for Balance. I mean, you got the Run Walker Bulldog. The infantry alone, and especially in that forest, because just how line of sight works, you are quite exposed from the sides, because it's not that deep. Right. You just get blapped.
It almost feels like, if Balance had a tank there. Like, just one tank. I know he only brings the one car of Leopard 2A1s. The Rockeyes drop on the Abrams. Oh, and they get one, and the other one's down to 1 HP. Mon fired for the... Oh, wow. Both missed by the Martyr 1A2 there. The Abrams is in critical danger right now for Krot.
Yeah. This could be a pretty decisive change of events.
Is he going to get the hit? He does get the side shot on it. Wow, both HAs dead ring. At the same time, a push... Okay, looks like the push has stalled for him in Bravo, but that's a massive point swing right there for Balance.
Yeah, that's... just under 300 points worth of tanks annihilated in under a minute. And for a mech player, knocking out sub heavies like that, especially when there's, only 3 of them in his deck, yeah, it's going to definitely even the odds later on, because dealing with IP Abrams is a little bit more manageable with your 2A1s.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the 2A1s, they can really start to flex that that mid-level armor effectively into this match because the HA, it's the super heavy of this game. Two of them, 2 or 3 wiped out right there. We saw Krot also bought a paladin during this time, and while on this map that's not really a bad buy because it's going to get value just shelling known infantry positions non-stop. It's going to take time for Krot to rebuild enough force to maybe really push out on golf, though. The benefit, I'd say, for Krot Rang is that he does have the points lead. So the pressure isn't really fully on him, though positioning-wise, I definitely think Balance is in a better position.
Yeah, especially due to how the map is orientated, because it is harder for Krot to sneak the CV into Golf compared to the rather
Yep.
nice forest position here. And we're seeing Balance, he can, smell blood in the water after knocking out 2
Yep.
first 8 Abrams, and is pushing quite aggressively now into Golf.
Yeah, we saw the infantry coming in there. I thought that was going to be a Bravo push. I'm glad I held my tongue because it's clear that they're going to dismount here. Death before dismount for these M113s. High Mat Jutsun just getting dumped right out of the, going to be cannon fodder here as they move forward. But the Martyrs with their 20 mils provide nice bit of fire support here for the infantry. And if he can get in here and lock this town down once again, so we see OG M1 Abrams trying to engage there from the hill. The Leopards could actually probably push up here and just trash that M1 Abrams. Oh no, this is going for the rifleman there.
Oh, we do see the last 8 Abrams also being brought out here and finally getting to the front line. So he's probably going to have to do some rather, well, emergency maneuvers here to try to contest the Leopard 2A1s and stop his Heimer Schuchen push. It might be a bit of a tall order considering the amount of targets he has to blow up.
Yeah, and the big thing too with the HAs is that he's got to, I don't even know if it's worth babysitting anymore. Like you bring it out and just start flooding M1A1s, and it kind of looks like what he's doing here. Because the M1A1 is significantly better than even the 2A1 in the game, so it's not like losing the HAs automatically sees armor control for him. But I think numbers might be the best bet here for Krot.
Yeah, just trying to get out armor superiority. I mean, I'd say it's that air defense is doing, whereas it hasn't been doing that good considering the bloody Patriot, but he needs to try to regain that advantage because he can't just afford to get clustered again and again.
No, absolutely. And the unfortunate thing for him is that his Patriot, it's a big buy. It's really done nothing. And, I know no American wants to hear that. It hurts my soul saying it. But it remotely didn't protect his tanks from the Rockeye, F-16. And I think if you're Krot, you kind of might have to just accept, hey, maybe this isn't going to do what I want it to do. Most likely it'll get a kill on the back end as it flies out. So keep your tanks kind of split apart and force him to pick which one, force him to commit his plane for the HA. And then you have 2 or 3 or 4 other tanks to kind of pick up the slack as these riflemen, they're going to get massacred, but they're going in.
Yeah. And once again to the town, they should be able to contest with the Hammer shooting quite effectively. And there's a lot of fire support backing him up. A pivot right in the thick of it, as well as a bunch of Abrams. He should be able to clear out that sector of Gulf, but Balance managed to get the CV in here, so he's slowly but surely getting the +1.
Yeah, but I really like this counterattack here from Krot Rang. He's using all of his tools available to him. The pivot's actually up close here, though he needs to be careful because the Milan's going for a snipe. So once again, the Milan missing and then dies, so it doesn't really matter. But it is a signal, hey, you got to be a little careful. Oh, Tornado ECR has now been called out here by Balance. The Pivot's radar is on.
And the Patriot,
and the Patriot, Patriot just turned off. And the Block 52 is going to go try and screen. Nice little pick there for Balance. So I think he was hoping for the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, at least it's going to be putting in pressure to really force that radar micro. And then, he can bring in Peace Shrines, follow up with the ECR, and it gives him a much better chance. Because really, it's just, that one Patriot's the only scary thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and it is obviously a best long range AA piece in the game, arguably speaking. But that's what you brought up there is really important, Rang, is that it adds an extra level now of micro on the part of Krot, where he has to be completely aware of whether his radar's on or off. And when you're really trying to keep your tanks split apart, get the proper infantry engagements, drop smoke, back your tanks in and out of the smoke. These are some of the best players in the game, but there's only a certain amount of micro you can do at all times, and Seed can just be really annoying in moments like this.
Yeah, especially if it's really go Foxtrot push here to the rather awkward angle to push. There's no cover, and yeah, we see the Peace Run coming in hot.
Yeah, Peace Rider's coming in hot right now, and it's going to have a clear line of sight here. And it goes for the Shap. I actually really like that move by the Peace Rider, taking out that AA piece, because now the Fennec Toe 2 is going to come up here. And while I don't know if it'll get any kills, okay, there's another Shap pretty close behind, and a Dap. But still, I mean, if you're wiping out AA pieces for free with your Peace Rider, you're doing really well.
Yep. Once again, best seed is ATGM.
That's we made that meta. We made that popular through our casts. You know, credit to the great Jellyman for the SC25T, greatest seed play of all time. But that Dap just got annihilated by that automatic. That wasn't even fair.
Yeah, he just went in a little bit hot. You can see just how much pressure that Fennec Toe 2 put in him, because he really wanted that thing dead. Because he's trying to make his Abram push happen, but if his Fennec comes in, no, he's not, because he's only on 1 HP, and it is still a Chaparral. These Abrams, I actually really like it, so he's just flanking around into Foxtrot and just trying to get a better position here.
Yeah, I think the big problem is he's going to trade out some of these Abrams, though. So the HA is under threat here. Yeah, the Peace Rider's going to go right in here, and it should get, I mean, he gets the Shap again. Now, this time, I think he could have got the Abrams. So the Toe 2 is going to come in here. It should get some damage done. What's he going? Yeah, he goes for the base Abrams there. Smoke is being dropped, and the Cobra's going to push up. But the Fliegerfaust... Oh, no, they just got... Oh.
Annihilated here. Oh, it didn't even kill Run Abrams. Goddamn ATGMs.
No, the other one's out of ammo. So, out of ammo. Well, the Fento is out of ammo. Excuse me. The M1 Abrams is out of gas. He's completely run out. So he needs a Hemet truck up here pronto. Really interesting push here by Krot to try and apply a different level of pressure here to balance ring. And we don't see this very often.
No, you really don't. It's always a hard push to do, like I said before. It's just a whole lot of open cover, but he really managed to capitalize on the weakness and use those Abrams to great effect. Now, the crest in his Reverie can really solidify, you know, the Golf Foxtrot defense here, because it's still dangerous to get a CV into Golf, and also just getting reinforcements through Foxtrot. Not right now, because there's not a whole lot of ATGMs nearby, but if he was to, you know, sneak stuff where the Panzer Grenadier is, or, you know, some more ATGM troops in the, like, Golf Forest area, you can really, you know, stranglehold that Foxtrot position.
ECR coming in, he got a little closer to the Patriot, missile out from the Patriot, and it misses once again. Radar is turned off here. Looking through the F-16's available. No, it's not. It must have just went down. Wow, really bad luck with the Patriot this game for Krot.
Yeah, it's just completely cross-eyed gunners, right? Yeah.
This is like some worn-out AA. One thing about Krot's position that I don't like is that it's pretty extended, Rang. Like, it's a very wide area now that he's trying to cover. And while he could possibly, I think, get a CD into Foxtrot, he's going to also need to secure Golf. And there's really no good spot for him to sneak one into Golf currently. So that leads me to believe either he's going to make a push for Foxtrot, like for the CV in Foxtrot, and try and completely clear it out, or he's going to have to commit more forces into a frontal push into the forest on Golf.
It's gonna be quite difficult for him, because there's still those 2 Leopard 2A1s there. And if those 2A1s were made to put some pressure into Foxtrot back to some infantry, they could do a pretty good job knocking out that initial, you know, frontline location right now, because a lot of the other Abrams are in the rear, you know, guzzling on some nice fuel.
Yeah, they him up there, getting him back in the action here. Though I will say, Martyr 2s with Panzergrens are starting to get into the field in Bravo, and that could be decisive in the Bravo engagement, because the base riflemen will have an almost impossible time trying to deal with Martyr 2s. It's just that the laws, like, you might as well have brought a stick trying to hit it. And so, we've already seen the Panzer Grenadiers trade out effectively against the, well, efficiently, excuse me, with the riflemen. And so I would be very worried if I was Krot about that. If there's a significant number of those coming in that direction, it could signal, you know, Balance thinks he can maybe have a game-winning move in Bravo ahead of him. Oh, it's actually, never mind, it's going straight to Golf.
Because especially considering the, like, Abram investment in Foxtrot, now it's CV going into, I mean, your mechanized might as well play to the advantage and use your shock troops to clear out the regular troops and get a good foothold into Alpha. Is that pretty much cancels out, you know, losing at least your half of Foxtrot?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised he hasn't committed more to it, because it's clear with the tank investment, as you brought up, there's a lot of, and another M1A1 being called out here, Mother Mortar, you know, the CV that's going to go into Foxtrot. Krot is all in on this type of push right here. And while he likes to cosplay as a mechanized deck, he's not a mechanized deck. And so he will not be able to win an infinite trade, like a trade war of infantry in Bravo, if this game goes the 40-minute distance. And that's where we see these Martyr 2s. I'd really like to see them be committed to Bravo, because I think he could actually probably break the Bravo front really quick with just one or two of them.
Yeah, that's really barely in the anti-tanky. I mean, you got the Ontos's in defense, but they do only have run frontal armor, unfortunately. So, in a more open fight, especially against autocannons, a bit of a difficult... Actually, never mind. I should not say anything. Ontos just lapped the Marder too.
Yeah, Ontos did just blap that Martyr too.
Never disparage my favorite unit.
It was tired of your disrespect right there. The Hawks trying to get a snipe there on the F-16, and the second time this game, the F-16C by Krot has been brought down to 1 HP for overextending into Balance's airspace. And then, so where'd those Leopard 2s? The Leopard 2s are moving away, which is smart. The Paladin's been kind of beating up on their position there. And there go the Martyr 2s. They're going to commit. The Ontos can try and engage here. It gets annihilated by one of the Martyr 2s, but the Command Abrams has been spotted. Balance knows where it's at. The Martyr 2 can try and back away. But that's a nice... I don't know if I like losing the Martyr 2 for it, but he knows exactly where it is right now.
Yeah, he can't really do too much. He can't, like, Nighthawk it, cluster it. He just knows it's there. And, you know, eventually he's just going to have to push infantry in that location to blap it. Or maybe he tries to move... I know he's moving Leopard 1s back into Gulf now.
Yeah. And then the Peace Ride got a snipe on an Abrams. I wasn't able to see if it was a base Abrams or if it was an M1A1.
I think it was an A1.
He did get the snipe on it right there, and then it got out with 1 HP. And kind of once again just showing that when you understand the dynamic between, you know, fighter aircraft and the AA networks here in the game, he's really abusing these peace rides. He's just getting a lot of value, even though there is some of the best AA in the game on the map right now.
Mm-hmm. Just all about the perfect timing. And it's always like, there
you go. He finally paid for it right there. The Patriot crew, they subbed out the gunners. They brought someone new in there. A nice pick there. But its radar's still on. This ECR is diving in. The radar's still on here for Krot. Okay, this ECR commits just a little bit further. No, he won't do it. Okay.
Oh, he's playing it a bit more defensive.
Yeah, I mean, this is the second time I think he could have done it. The Patriot opening up now in the Peace Ride. We're going to see if it gets... it does get the hit there. It's 1 HP, though, so unfortunately it doesn't get, you know, the kill with the crit. But... good damage, and I don't think it... What did it kill?
It killed the H. Abrams.
Yeah, it killed the HA, yep.
Which that means all the H. Abrams are down. I mean, like you said, there's still A1 Abrams, and there was still nothing to really trifle at, but it's still a sucky loss, yeah, for Krot. Because you have to be a bit more careful of him compared to the HA.
Yeah, and the 2A1, while the A1 is better, it's not like the gap between the 2A1 and the HA. Like, the 2A1s can compete, for sure. So, if it comes down to an armor battle, which it hasn't at all, you know, we may be speaking completely out of turn here, because it's been obvious that Balance hasn't wanted to engage his armor with his opponent. And when I see the Leopards 2A1s here, they look like they're a little aggressive, but the Panzer Grenadiers Live Garden finally did push Bravo while we were watching the nice air shenanigans, pushing back the Command Abrams. The Ontos doing some damage from the side, but Balance he smells blood in the water right here, Rang.
Yep. He's trying to go in. He's going to send in 2A1s over the top.
ECR committing. Okay, he's going for the Pivad. Gets the Pivad. Oh, but the Patriot opens up on it. Smashes right into that tornado. He's down to 1 HP, flying right over the Shap. Is it going to get out?
No.
And it doesn't go out. Nope.
Damn. Killed by the one thing it was meant to destroy.
Yeah, and he dived deep there, you know, finally kind of committing there, but this time the Patriot was in a good spot towards the back there. The Pivad, you know, soaked up the first harm and was able to go down. Really big pick there for Krot. A nice micro too, immediately moving his Patriot away. No counter battery was coming. And a longbow, there it is, Rang. Been waiting all game, and it's finally coming out with 11 minutes left.
There we go. And that should do, well, I'd say, decent job of zoning out now the 2A1. It's not a whole...
Yep.
It's really not as crazy anti-aircraft network. It's just Stinger teams around about. So he can at least zone out all of these mechanized open armored pushes, and then it's just going to come down to him contesting infantry.
And the Rockeye just getting smashed right there, unable to drop its bombs off as well. And now the Patriot, it's a complete 180 from 10 minutes ago. Multiple big boy snipes by that Patriot. And now this Abrams with Shap support, they can go ahead and the Americans are on their way to Gulf.
Yeah, they are going in hot here. And Balance, so he still has a pretty decent point lead of 10 minutes left. So he just needs to not completely crumble. If he can still just keep neutralize, which I think is still possible. No, he's going to get kicked out of it right now.
He's making an M41A1 Walker Bulldog Thunder Rush down there in Foxtrot, trying to go for the CV, I think. The Cobra's going to try and move over here, and I think the Rangers... Oh, the M1A1 actually got in line of sight now. Yeah, they're dead.
Oh, Longbow flying into Foxtrot. Got hit by a Manpad. 1 HP. That's going to put it out of commission for a little bit, so there's at least some of a decent snipe.
It lives, though. Like, there was an opportunity right there, I think, for it to just... the Longbow snipe could have been massive, but he's going to go ahead and live. There are Hemmets already in the area, so you can go ahead and get them back up. These Cobras have been doing some work for Krot the whole game, and he can push these forward right now, and there's nothing in front of him, in front of those Cobras and Foxtrot that can remotely stop them. I mean, obviously, infantry weapons, this isn't Warno. They can do damage to the Cobras, but if he can get good engagements here... Oh, Krot being really aggressive with his Longbow, Rang.
Oh, wow, he's
sending it.
Yeah, it smells blood in the water.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to try to get the CV snipe in Foxtrot to really solidify point advantage. Because a +2 right now would be quite Gucci.
Yeah, +2 for him would definitely get him the lead. How long he holds it for, that's a big question. But the right side of it, his right, balances left is almost broken. If we're being honest about the position here. High-mat shoots are basically nothing. There's a minor speed bump. Though I don't think he needs to necessarily overcommit. It's like, I think he's in a good spot here. Just trying to lock it down, force balance into attacking open ground, which is what he'd have to do from either Foxtrot or Charlie to get into golf.
Yeah, and usually Foxtrot, it's just you get a CV snipe and bugger off. It's such a hard location to contest. As well, you're right by the enemy spawn point, and that long forest gives you a really good angle of approach from the Echo side.
Yeah, the last Peace Ryan did dive in there, get a kill on the M1A1, so the armor advantage had been taken away, but it's not like there's any armor here or anything heavy from Balance to even exploit it. It's just a bunch of infantry, which these M13s being really annoying against the Live Garden right there. The Martyr's going to come up there and try and help them. But the Longbow needs to be careful. It's going to go right into 50 cal range. Yeah.
We kind of got to the point in the match now where it's towards the end. The mech player's kind of panicking because a lot of his units hasn't traded at rail against the super units which are still alive. And so he's just kind of only buying infantry and the mech spam. But, Longbow goes down. But the Abrams and the Patriot and the aircraft have done a good job of trading efficiently.
Yeah, and now he's in balance, like you said, embracing the infantry. Going for Alpha might be his best move. It's going to be hard to secure golf long term, especially because there's nothing to really project power, right? Project any forces. It's only infantry with some APCs or IFEs to hold. Oh, there's another piece, right? Okay, so I guess one I miscalculated there. Well, the other one didn't die. Oh, they're going for the Thunderbolt. That poor A10. Oh, never mind. That A10 is alive and well.
We'll fund the damage model.
That was 100% some War Thunder. Though the Patriot is actually out of ammo. Krot needs to get on that. The Shap isn't really going to be one to dissuade large amounts of aircraft. It's obviously its main role is to kill helicopters.
Yeah. And it's really, apart from a few Fennec Toad 2s, the helicopters aren't exactly the major threat anymore here for Krot. But he's keeping up at +2. He's got the point advantage. And I feel like he's going to be able to ride us out now. I just don't think Balance is going to have momentum to push us back unless he can get something decent into Alpha. But that takes time. That's pretty deep.
Yeah, there's only 6 minutes left in the game. He was able to get CVs back into golf and into Foxtrot. So he does have, he's only down 14 points. But it's a hard ask right now, especially considering the momentum both sides have. It's like two boxers going into the 12th round, right? Now they do 10 rounds, but whatever. And they've been punching each other the whole time. They've been landing blows. It's been hot and heavy in there. And they're both kind of just punch drunk in the middle of the ring right now, just throwing whatever they have.
Yeah, you can see a lot of units out of fuel, out of ammo. It's just kind of all over the place. Rangers got Hammond shootings once again being brought in. The Fennec Toad 2's going in hot. I mean, he's got the Scout Defender, yeah. He's got 14 rockets. Yeah. Can he actually CV snipe?
The Scout Defender saw your video making fun of it for attacking
the FOB.
FOB. He said, this ain't no FOB. Oh, the smoke on top, it doesn't matter. It was too little too late. And that'll get a +1. And that could be massive right there, actually. As we see Infantry 2 trying to push forward as the smoke is dropped on the command Abrams. Those are the Dragonairs, though. Okay. The DAP diving in here and trying to get a kill in the thing, too. And it will. More Scout Defenders, though. Yeah, they took a personal, Rain. They saw your video. They saw 2,000 people watch you make fun of the Scout Defender with Walter White, and they are not about it.
Nope, they are not. They're going to Solia rough here. And actually getting some very good snipes. Combat Show going into Bravo, getting the flank. I don't think it's going to threaten the CV, but a rather nice sort of flank here. Scout Defenders is going in hot. The DAP still has the cannons and the miniguns, so they're going to do their darndest protecting Mr. Abrams.
Yeah, these other M113s right here pushing forward. The Cobra launching his 40mm grenades, just trying to stop these M113s they push forward. Just high mat shoots in, so it really doesn't matter, I guess, either direction there. But I'm trying to see. So if you're Krot now, that was you really didn't need the double CV snipe right there at that or well, it's a single CV snipe, but the counter cap of golf. Excuse me.
Yeah,
getting too high.
That balance is slowly getting that +1, and
yeah,
I mean, he's in a pretty good spot. I mean, eventually CV's going to get brought back into Foxtrot to neutralize it, but I think for Krot, I mean, balance, you just go full hog into Alpha, you rush a CV in there to contest it for a bit. You just need to survive long enough to get a CV in there for a minute.
Yeah, and we see whereas down south, Krot trying to use his helicopters to do damage, but there's a Black Panzer Gepard rolled right up here. The 35 mils just shredding those helicopters right there in the open. This is AA, Rangru.
That is anti-bloody aircraft. I think Krot's going to need it as well, because Fennec TOE2's coming in once again.
Yeah, the Fennec TOE2 right now is like, it is the super heavy. There's nothing right there to contest whatsoever, though the pivot is coming up, so he should be able to push it back a little bit. The mortars being sent forward to their death here to soak up the TOE2 ammo and balance, recognizing what's happening too late, though, firing 3 of his 4 missiles here.
Oh, the Marder Turin Hotel!
Oh, it's going to find the Paladin right here. The Paladin's trying to turn. It does have a direct fire weapon. And no, it's going to die to the Marder 2.
Oh, the CV.
Oh, CV is in critical danger right now.
Oh, he's hiding in the building. That's smart. I thought he was going to, like, try to hide out.
He catches the M113s out here in the open. Krot is having trying to send them forward, hoping it close enough to just keep pushing them back, I think. Finally unloading them here. Oh, and the Super Cobra coming up now with its with TOE2s, excuse me, slamming into the side there. Wow, Krot could have just lost. I mean, Balance could have just won the game right there.
Yeah, I mean, killing the Paladin's cool and all, but at this point, it really does not have much of an impact with only 2 minutes left here. So, very good save from Krot.
Yeah, and that might be... it's a great save by Krot, keeping his CV alive, but I think the damage might have been done here by Balance. With 2 minutes left, now that it has stopped, there is no tick on either direction, but he has a 35-point lead, and like we talked about in the beginning of this cast ring, that is enough on this map. Like, it's very hard to get ticks as we've seen the whole game. Krot's going to need some CV sniping magic right now.
Yeah, because Foxtrot's pretty well defended, Golf is pretty well defended, Bravo you're not going to get anywhere in here. So he can hold for 1:40, that's pretty easy.
No, you got, yeah, the Danish F-16 just got America'd right there over the battlefield. Getting taken out there. But this is also where the Paladin, if it's, oh, the D-Eagle's going in. We haven't seen it called out all game. Here it goes, big boy payload. He knows where that CV is, going for the snipe. It is a Leopard 1, so actually if he got a really good hit, he probably could kill it. But he's not going to get it, but he's going to force it out right there. And he's getting a little bit of a tick, but he needs a double.
Yeah, he really does need the double, and I don't think that's going to happen with only a minute left now. He tried to get, you know, those aircraft snipes coming in, but, well, the A-10 finally meets its match.
Yeah, I mean, if he had a Nighthawk at the same time and knew where the CV was in Foxtrot and got it, you know, then I think we could have it. The math would be really, really close at that point. But here, you know, with 43 seconds and counting, I think he's also fought out.
Mm-hmm.
Both players, I mean, obviously, Balance has an infinite amount of infantry still left, but we see 9 Walker Bulldogs being called out. They'll never reach the front by the time the game's over. But yeah, Balance doing just enough there. at the end, and a crazy final 10 minutes ring to go ahead and keep control of the game, and he's going to walk away with a win.
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised by its outcome, because it really felt like balance was completely on the opposite foot, especially with Krot's go Foxtrot control, and he didn't even push him to alpha. Like, he never decontested it. He just managed to get those CV snipes and just played the point game, which is what you do as mech.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was just a really well-timed counterattack because he had been hurting for a while. Krot had, on the flip side, Krot had an amazing counterattack, leveraging his side effectively so that he could punish Balance in that open ground using his heavy tanks, even though he had lost the HH to the Rock Eyes, getting some really big air snipes when they finally switched out those Patriot gunners. They took out the National Guard guys to put in the actual active duty guys into the crew right there. But an extremely back and forth game. I felt like I was actually watching the finals of a tournament.
Yeah, and this is just bloody third place, and especially for Paddyfield, because that was quite dynamic, considering Paddyfield is, a 2-lane choke point map, but Krot managed to figure out third lane.
Yeah, and Krot actually with a slight, slightly positive KD, they're basically 1-1, with a 200 points going 40 minutes. That's basically the same. But you could tell where there were real swings in the KDs at multiple times between the two players, and then finally just there at the end, Balance it's almost like he hit a timing attack, and the scout defender just barely breaking through. The snipe on the Shap was massive, and doing just enough at the end of the game to go ahead and hold on. And it's also clear, I think, if that game goes 5 more minutes, I think Balance has it, because it just looked like, from Krot's perspective, he tried to play like mech a little bit, a little mech style with some American Unicorn flair, and at the end of it, he seemed fought out.
Yeah, it's just, especially using longbow into some of the, a lot of the tank trades later on. In the end of the day, when you're fighting against mech and you want to push, you still have to go through a horde of infantry. And if you don't have fire support alive, that horde of infantry, especially when the Panzer Grenadiers or Panzer Fast 3s, are going to hold you off.
Yeah, because we also saw, where the rifleman spam, I think it did work for a while, Ring, but there were moments where you could just tell that when especially against the Panzer Grenadiers, where they just were trading badly. They weren't doing very well, so he needed a lot of fire support to support them. And while the M113s did a valiant job along with the Ontos, maybe that can be the unit card for the YouTube video, right? The thumbnail, excuse me.
Yes, of course.
But it has to be. What am I saying? But though, if we had to say, the real MVP probably was the F-16's Rockeye clusters. But yeah. Great game. Amazing game.
Great bloody match. And that's only game run. It's a best of 5, so it's a potential 5 of these bloody matches. So stay tuned next time for game number 2. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. And as usual, please just take it easy.